Fear Collective, we're heading to South Korea to dig into the scares and subtext of 2018's Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. I think I said that right. This is going to be the first video in a series that I'm calling Found Fear, wherein I watch and review found footage films that I've never seen before. So Gonjiam Haunted Asylum is directed by Bum-shik Jung and feels really unique existing in today's horror landscape, provided that we are firmly planted under A24's reign. You just don't see found footage making a splash in the way that it used to in the late 90s and early aughts, due in part to a real trope fatigue that turned many viewers away. So you can imagine my elation to discover that Gonjiam succeeds in its efforts with likable and realistic characters, an inspired use of technology, and maybe most importantly, some really well-crafted scare sequences. And while I see the DNA of other films existing within Gonjiam, I still had a really great time watching this movie. Now, for me, the success of a found footage film lies firmly in the effectiveness of the performances. If I can't believe that the characters are real people, then the entire illusion of found footage really just doesn't land. Thankfully, I was sold on these performances really from that opening sequence, and I enjoyed spending time with these characters, even if their decisions aren't always the smartest. The film does a great job utilizing modern technology like drones and body cams to track the activity throughout the film in visually inspiring ways, something that the 2016 Blair Witch tried to sorta do, but with less success. And honestly, when watching this film, I just kept thinking to myself, this is totally what the 2016 Blair Witch should have been. Likable characters, an interesting premise, just add a witch to it, and then there you go. I don't know, maybe I'm reaching for the stars. In the film, a paranormal investigative website visits an abandoned asylum to live stream their findings. And while the premise of the film isn't necessarily new, I get it, it's like Halloween Resurrection meets the Blair Witch Project. It does everything so well that I really didn't mind it feeling so familiar. The titular asylum feels perfectly foreboding and felt like a leveled up version of the Grave Encounters set. Maybe I should do a review of that movie too. The film's scary sequence delivers an extended level of tension that alone makes this film worth your time. I won't go into it anymore, but to say that it really anchors this film in true horror, where maybe the other jump scares can be written off as sort of standard haunted house spook scares. Which is fair enough. Subtextually, the film comments on our modern dependence on social media and how, at our worst, we prioritize likes and views over our own humanity. As I mentioned, the investigators are live streaming the events of the film, and it mirrors the live stream culture that is still very relevant now in 2021. As modern technologies advance, our dependence on them definitely inhibits our own humanity, and I think that concept really works in the context of a horror film. So I'm going to rate Gonjiam Haunted Asylum a 9 out of 10 just for being so incredibly enjoyable. I love the setting, I love the performances, and it's truly a funky little movie that knows exactly what it is and yet still brings found footage into the modern age in a fun and relevant way. I caught the film now streaming on Amazon Prime, so check it out and comment down below what you thought of the film. Stay tuned for more in my Found Fear series, and until next time, the collective is now closed.